come on in. Y'all better come in. Y'all better come in. Woo, Lord Jesus. Got my work badge on. Okay, y'all. I know I said I was coming on yesterday, but we've been talking about boundaries, right? All right. So hopefully my moderators are on today, cause look, today I'm not the one, two, or three trolls. Y'all gonna have to stand down, right? Cause we gotta talk about this documentary. All right. So y'all, my process of looking at this documentary, it was just overwhelming. So right now I want to tell you this is definitely a trigger warning, right? Hello, whoever that is. Thanks so much for joining. Y'all, okay. Hey, Miss Tree, hey boo. All right, because this Miss Tree, this documentary called Tell Them You Love Me, right? Okay, so y'all, I promised y'all that I was going to look at this. Hey. First, I told you I'm not the one, two, or the three today. If you ain't coming on here for business, stand down. We ain't trying to block nobody, but we just gonna ignore the trolls. I got something for y'all later on. But anyway, y'all, so this documentary, okay, my process, I had to look at it twice because it was okay, my ADHD, right? So I don't have a long attention span. And I always tell y'all, hey Arthur, thanks for joining. I always tell y'all we on here for a good time, not a long time. So like I said, y'all, this is a trigger warning to those of you who may be triggered by grooming, may be triggered by SA. Please, I am just trigger warning. All right, so my coworker tells me to look at this documentary, right? So y'all, so it to me it was long, right? It may not be long to you, but like I said, I just got a lot of stuff going on in my mind. I just got off from work and so I'm looking at it. So I didn't even really know what to expect because if you have Netflix, you see a yeah, yes, Miss Trigg, don't block nobody. We ain't trying to block nobody because these trolls they need to learn too, right? So yeah, but just remind everybody, yeah, that we are we about business today. So okay, so if you have Netflix and if you look at this documentary, they always show him, yeah, just for a little while. They always show a picture, right? So on the picture you see somebody pushing a wheelchair, right? And so I'm thinking, I don't know what's going on, right? So I'm like, okay, let me just prepare my mind, right? So in this documentary, it's about, now I'm telling you, it's a spoiler alert. And I have to do this because we've been talking about boundaries. A lot of times we don't use boundaries, right? And a lot of times when we don't use boundaries, that sets up an opportunity for predators to take an advantage of us, right? Yeah, hey, big double cheese. Thanks for joining. It takes a lot of, it sets us up for predators, right? To be exploited, right? To be misused. You gotta set boundaries. So we talked about that, y'all. So, and looking at this documentary, y'all just forgive me if I'm rambling because it's just so much I want to say, and I ain't gonna be on here long, but I just want to talk about this documentary, right? So yeah, thanks for joining me. So it's you said I like your sister. Okay, I'm trying to stay focused, but thanks so much for joining. I appreciate you. Okay, I really do. I really. Hey Sammy. So This lady, this professor, right? Well, let's start off in the beginning. We have a disabled young man, right? Gotta be in his 30s, late 30s, early 40s, right? So, well, let's start back. This man, he's so his name is Derek, right? He has cerebral palsy and he's nonverbal, right? So those are two things. Hey, Brazillo, look at the caption. Yep, I have boundaries. Say it with me. Yes, baby, you got to have boundaries, and that's what we've been talking about: setting boundaries with everybody, y'all. I don't care who it is. You gotta set boundaries because if not, people will take advantage of you. People will use you. They will exploit you, for financial gain, for sexual gain. It doesn't matter. You gotta be on your P's and Q's because I'm telling you, people are looking and seeking who they may devour. All right. So I'm looking at this Netflix special, right? Trying to figure out what it's about. But it's about this develop well, Lord, developmentally disabled person. Forgive me, y'all. I'm just so hyper. Okay, let me calm down. So he has cerebral palsy and he's nonverbal, right? His mother is up in age, right? So she's taking care of him, changing his diaper. He can't walk on his own. He has a lot of, a lot of disabilities, right? So his brother is going to college, right? He's taking college courses, working on his PhD, right? Armand, I know I'm trying to calm down. Hey, from India, I'm shouting you out. Thanks for joining. So what happens is this, he reaches out to this lady, right? It's a professor. I guess he's taking a course. And she was talking about facilitating communication or communicating facilitation, either or, right? But it's when you help somebody that's nonverbal. They use like a pad that you type on, and they he has cerebral palsy, right? So a lot of times he's shaking and things like that. People with cerebral palsy, right? So what they do is they guide your hand, right? They guide your hand to type what they want to say, right? Pretty simple, right? Instead of, they can't talk, so they have to type it, right? But side note, you have to have some type of intelligence to type, right? To use sentences. We all know that, right? So she tells Derek's brother, who is taking these classes, right? He says, that sounds a lot like my brother. Can you give me somewhere that I can check it out? She said, it's too expensive, but I can go to your house and assess them, right? So she goes to his house, right? Or their house. Now, Derek Johnson, his mom is his caregiver. She does everything for him, right? And she when it in the documentary, it talks about what he can do and what he can't do. He has basically, she has to change his diaper. He can't go to the bathroom by himself. And if you look at him, he has signs of being disabled, right? Usually we don't use retardation anymore, okay? Developmentally disabled, right? Okay, I don't know why my tongue is tied and I can't say it, but yeah. So y'all, so she's helping him type things, right? So she gets him in school, right? And she has to be there in school with him, right? He went on all these, trips, to different community events, right? So then, she goes on to tell, because this is her story, right? This is her story. Her name is Anna. Let me see what her name is. What's her name? Anna Stubbleville, right? So she's a professor, and so what happens is, during her helping him, she says that she is in love, right? She says that, not she, but they're in love. Because I guess one time in school he was saying that that is never going to happen to him because of his disability. Mind you, she is doing facilitation communication, right? She's guiding his finger, not guiding, but just trying to make sure that, you know, things are stable, right? So yeah. So y'all, what happens in this documentary that she is telling, right? Whole grown married woman with children. I'm gonna let that sit right there. A whole grown woman, a professor, married with children. Where they do that at? So I'm like, oh my God, had to rewind it. Hey Sheila, my other moderators, thank you so much for joining, moderators. I love y'all. You said that sad. It is, because I'm like, when you look at the picture, you know how Netflix, when you see pictures of like who gonna be on there, it's Derek, and his brother is holding him. Is pushing him in a wheelchair. So automatically you think, oh, this is two black men, right? No, this is her story. So right then I had a problem with that, because I'm like, if this is your story, where are you gonna put him on the cover, and he's basically disabled, he's a victim, but you don't want your picture, Anna Stubbleville, whatever your name is, you don't want your picture on the video, right? And she's a Caucasian woman in her mid 30s or whatever, whole grown woman, and it's not even about race to me. It's about power and control, and that's why I'm telling you, people that manipulate you, people that take advantage of you, people that abuse you, it's about power and control. It's about power and control. So she done took him in school, right? In school, with him in school. Meanwhile, you said I'm Kai sent mother. I need to be, because that boy got some money. That's my boy now. But meanwhile, y'all, um, he, so she taking him on trips, out of town, right? Taking him to school. So, she's facilitating him to write things, and then she tells it to the class, right? So he's in school. Excuse me. He's in school taking all these courses, doing all these community events, right? So she's introducing him to people, and people are actually vouching for her, right? Not saying that she didn't help nobody. But again, this is a let Shadow talk, cause I look better than his mama. Anyway, so yeah. So what happens is, y'all, yeah, she sits down with her and Derek, right? The developmentally disabled young man in his 30s, nonverbal, cerebral palsy. She tells his mother that they're in love. All right. Yeah. They're in love. Don't block nobody, Sheila. Let the people come on. Let the people come on. Let the trolls come on. That's okay. They need this too because somebody might be trying to take advantage of them, and in the midst of their comments, they might need this information, right? Because a lot of times people think that they're doing something, and you are in the company of a predator, right? You in a relationship with a predator, and a lot of men, we always, the profile of predators, we think of men, right? This was a female, a whole female with two children and a husband, right? So so she says that they're in love, and she answers the questions and everything. Meanwhile, the mother is flabbergasted, right? She is overwhelmed because of what she is saying on his behalf. Now, meanwhile, she's saying, they have made love and everything like that. And in my mind, I'm like, how did they do that? And this boy diaper got to be changed. Trigger warning. Okay. So and she's a professor. So what she was doing now, how did she get past the red tape, right? How did she was privately billing his insurance. So you got to be set up. You gotta set up and make sure all your T's, your I's are dotted and all your T's is crossed before you even do that. And that's what a lot of predators do. Before they SA you, they groom you. So that's what she did. She groomed him, right? She took him on all these things, and she talked about all the passionate conversations that they had and all this. So his mother is listening. And guess what she said? She had to sit on her hands. I said, baby. And she was one of them black mothers from the South, okay? And if you don't know nothing about them, they didn't play about their kids. They don't play about their kids, right? So, yeah, she said she had to sit on her hands while this woman tell her that they were in love, that they had been um intimate. You know what I'm saying? Disturbing. Disturbing. So y'all those of us who have been or are caregivers, or you're caring for somebody that can't speak for themselves. You may be a guardian, right? You may be in the process of getting guardianship for somebody. You better watch it because it's predators, right? And you have to have boundaries. Okay, and this is what I had a problem with the family. They trusted her way too much. Cause she had to change his diaper, going on all these trips. Who was gonna change it? Right? So the brother starts, so the mother was talking, and she said, she ended the conversation. She hugged Anna and said, okay, we're gonna try to get through this. This is what the mother said. But I believe that she had to get rid of her because she was about to punch her. Right? All right, y'all. So what happens is now the brother starts talking. He starts talking about his process, right? And he says, in between the times that she was with Derek, right? She noticed these abrasions on his back. Told y'all, spoiler alert. If y'all haven't seen it and want to see it, spoiler alert. He said he started seeing all these abrasions on his back. Now she said they was trying to figure out how were they able to make love. She said in her office. She got a yoga mat and a beach towel. I said that trifling heifer. You mean to tell me that you got a disabled person and put him on the ground, and Y'all, we all adults. It better not be nobody that's under 18 because I pushed it. This is not for kids. This is not for kids. This is not for the weary nor the weak. Right? So she gets him on a mat and says that we, made love and all these things like that. And trying to picture. I'm like, whoop, whoop, whoop. You know how something hit you? Whoop, 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 whoop. That's how I'm getting hit. You know, trying to figure out. I was like, just like the devil. He comes as a what? An angel of light, but a he is a devil, a wolf in sheep's clothing. So the reason how she got in was because she said you're not gonna be able to afford that service. And let me tell you something, y'all. Everything that's free ain't free. Come on, somebody. Everything that's free was if somebody tell you a service that you need is free, it ain't free. Everything that's free ain't free. You said, is it karma is real? As people who do bad leave scot free. And you know what, Micaiah? Let me tell you something. She went to court, right? They sentenced her 10 years. 10 years, right? Sentenced her 10 years. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Put y'all comments down, y'all thoughts. Okay. Yeah, they sentenced her 10 years, right? Guess what she did? Appeal. Guess what she did? Won. She won. How did she do that? Because to me, this is what they're reasoning for giving her the winning the appeal. They said that it wasn't a lot of representation of facilitating communication. The jury, because they was throwing a lot of things that was out that the judge was throwing out. But my soul, y'all, my soul was just aching because that could be you, that could be me. You in your right mind today. But if you ain't in your right man, who gonna speak on your behalf? If you know better, that you may want to tell them your wishes because we don't know. We don't know what can happen. That's why you gotta check behind people. These doctors, these professors, people, because some of these people have degrees and stuff, and they be straight up predators. I guess a lot of people were saying, well, and what happened? Anna was saying, I was trying to get them to use the facilitating communication. And the mother was like, I was trying to, but it wasn't going anywhere. It wasn't doing anything. Hey, twin brothers, thank you for joining. And the brother who working on his PhD, right? He was saying they was trying to do it, but it wasn't going nowhere. So they got this specialist, right? They got this specialist to come in and sit with Derek, right? This is the developmentally disabled young man. They got somebody to sit with him, right? Um, and so he took out some flashcards and he was like, "What is this? What is this?" Makai, you said, yes, that's trauma. Stay for years. It's pathetic to be in such a state since years, like being in an imaginary cage without a cage. But bad people stay bad people and happy. You know what? They do. They get away, but guess what? Your conscience Your conscience. And let me tell you, God says that vengeance is mine. I will repay thee. There ain't nobody getting away with nothing. You may not see the repercussions. That lady is a sex offender. She can't talk to her kids. And guess what? Oh my God. Oh my God. She was so remember the time that I told you the mother was talking about, her first time talking about it. So she started communicating with her, just leaving stuff on a voicemail, right? She told Derek's mother that she absolutely will leave her husband. She is planning on leaving her husband and setting up a home for her and Derek to live in. And she said, and I will write it in blood. Let that sit with y'all. She said that she gonna write it in blood. Right then and there, I was like, that lady is mentally ill. And let me tell you, y'all think a lot of times mental illness don't have anything to do with your IQ. It doesn't have anything to do with your with your intelligence, right? With your intelligence level, anybody could be mentally ill. Whether your intelligence, you have low intelligence or whether it's high, because it was people. Miss Tree, you said women sex offenders are news to me. Yes, she was a whole woman with kids and a husband, right? So guess what? She divorced him. She divorced him, right? And so at the hearing, the man's his brother says, I trusted you with my brother, and this is what you do. I trust you. You said, Sheila, you said hurt people, hurt people. Thank you, moderators, for rolling with me. Absolutely. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining. Hurt people do hurt people. Right. And if you don't get help for the abuse that you're going through, you might try to abuse somebody else. That's how it is. It's a vicious cycle. So who gonna stop the cycle? Evidently, what was going on with her, and they used it. They was like she was just so passionate. No, she was a predator. That's my take on it. And she set it up. She groomed him, y'all. And if anybody is not familiar with grooming, yeah. Deborah, you said, what is this about? This is about the Netflix special called Tell Them You Love Me, right? It's about a middle-aged lady, a professor that says she fell in love with a developmentally disabled person that has cerebral palsy, and he was nonverbal. He couldn't change himself. He had to have assistance walking and things of that nature. She is so the tool that she is using is something that you can type on. So how they do, because cerebral palsy, a lot of times they have unwanted movement, right? So she is holding his hand while he is punching things. So in her mind, he is having a conversation with him. He is saying that he loved her, all these things like that. And then what happens? She abuses him. All right. So why am I sharing this with y'all? Because just the other day we was talking about boundaries. You know, I truly believe that God gives us an internal compass. You know how sometimes when you something may happen and then we say, quote unquote, something told me not to do that. Something told me not to go that way. That's God. That's your internal compass that He gives to people. Now, sometimes we ignore that, right? And that's why a lot of people do these heinous crimes and things of that nature, because their conscience is void. They ignore their conscience. They don't listen to it. So their conscience doesn't work anymore. They don't have a conscience of the things that they're doing. You say they're sick cannibals. grooming for future, doing stuff right in front of you, of people faces. God in is in us, a church or a book. Yeah, using, like, yes, your gut feeling, your gut feeling something. And Damien, I love that comment, because we gotta be careful. We gotta be careful, because those are the predators, right? Those are the people that abuse and misuse us, and then they can go and eat a sandwich, right? And they can eat dinner or hang out with their homeboys and things like that, because their conscience is void. God gives everybody a choice, right? He gives everybody right and wrong, right? That's in the beginning. In the beginning, right and wrong. Adam and Eve, they bit of the tree of good and bad and wrong, good and evil, right? So that carried down to us, right? That sinful nature. Well, a lot of times, you know how some people ain't gonna lie for nothing. Some people ain't gonna laugh because their conscience will kill them. And a lot of people will ignore their conscience. And the more you ignore your conscience, the weaker your conscience get. Your conscience won't be able to even connect with God. Sometimes God will have to shake you up, right? He'll have to shake you up. But y'all, so all this, and if you haven't seen it, if you're a caregiver, you said, where are you from, dear? I'm from Michigan. Thank you so much for joining. If you are caregiving, if you got kids, check behind these teachers who want to spend so much time with your children. Yes, some of them may mean some good, but a lot of times they don't. Okay, FYI, back to the documentary. The Derek's brother said that there was a man that was doing facilitation facilitating communication, or communication facilitation. I think it's communication facilitation. And he ended up SAing all these boys, right? So that's why we have to be aware. We gotta open our eyes. We gotta check behind people. If somebody, you got a caregiver coming to your mother's house, check behind them. Now you can get ring lights and look at what's going on your phone. It's really no excuse. But a lot of times people are ignorant, right? And I say ignorant, they just don't know any better. They don't know to check behind people, because they think, oh well, this woman is helping me, and it seems like my brother is getting better and doing things that he never done before. No, because the man, another specialist, sat down with him and he couldn't even identify a teacup and a spoon. Something that he used every day. All right. So y'all be blessed. Like I always say, I'm on here for a short time and a good time, not a long time, right? I just want to give you this information and let it sit and rest in your spirit. I pray that the sun is shining in your life. I pray that God protect you and your family from the demonic forces, the predators, because they out there, y'all. This is the enemy's world. And Satan know that he don't have but a long time. So he gonna try his best to deter us, to turn us away from God, to misuse and abuse. If he can't get to you, he gonna try to get to somebody that's close to you. All right? The Bible says, watch as well as pray. So I love y'all. Thanks so much for our moderators. Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. For those of you that are popping on, I'm looking, let me look and see what y'all saying in these comments. Y'all know I'll be looking in these comments to see what y'all be saying. I care about Deborah. Thank you so much. I hope that I answered all your questions. and things like that, y'all. But I love y'all, and y'all got to be careful. This documentary, it was eye opening, it was triggering, it was disturbing, but sometimes we need things in our face. And the husband, guess what? In the court, right? So that you know how you give last words before a person is sentenced. Her husband says that she is a pathological liar and she is a narcissist. Now, if you about to go to jail and your husband say that about you, Houston, we have a problem. Hey, Rubel, thank you for joining. Yeah, we have a problem. We have a problem. So this is to be safe, y'all. This is to keep yourself safe, to keep your family safe. Don't trust people. Everything that is free is not free, right? People have a motive by the things that they do. A lot of times, sometimes you will find somebody that will do things at the goodness of your heart, but you have to ask a person. Um, you have to ask a person, and ask God to show you what is this person's true intentions. Have you ever just asked God that about the people that's around you? Because a lot of times we can't get ahead because we got toxic people in our circle. You might not know it, but spirits is real. That's what I say. Spirits is real. So I love y'all. Thank you, moderators, for everything that you do. I love y'all so much. Thank you for popping on, y'all. Be safe. And guess what? I will see y'all next time. Like and subscribe, okay? Like and subscribe to Unchurched Talk with the T. We have some, good commentary, some reactions, and I just had to come. Oh, I love you too. I love you too. Rubio, I love you too. Yeah, a lot of times, what let me know what y'all want to talk about. All right? And I will try to, bring it forth, right? What is it? Live streaming with what's the name of that thing? It's a app, StreamYard coming soon, okay? So I love y'all. Be blessed. And you said, hi, could I please be a my Alyssa? Alyssa, I gotta see you come on my lives, okay? I need your support. So I will see you. Like and subscribe, Alyssa, and I will definitely consider you as a mod. Thank you for even wanting to be one, okay? You said please like your car. Oh, thank you so much for being concerned, Alyssa. Yep, I'm gonna remember your name, Alyssa. Thanks so much for even requesting, because y'all, we growing, and God, I just believe that He is going to bless us to be a blessing to many people. You said go home, old lady. Tell your mama to go home. Don't worry about me. I told you I'm not the one, the two, or the three. This is not the platform if you want to act up. All right. So behave yourself, or you gotta go in timeout. You gotta go in a in a people that don't know how to act place. So yeah, y'all, be blessed, and I will see y'all next time. Okay. Miss Tree, these people know I'm from Detroit, baby. They don't want none. They don't want none. And Miss Tree, remember I was telling you I'm gonna keep you abreast with that neighbor still putting garbage in the hallway, okay? So y'all pray for me. Y'all pray for your sister. Pray for me, right? So that I don't lose my temper, because enough is enough. Okay? So I love y'all. Be blessed, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.